Good morning and welcome to the early morning Sunday show. There's not much else to say. It's Sunday, it's early morning. Sums it up. But I got some really cool stuff this week, besides some stupid things I did. But it's really, oh my God, classic 80s. There's some hard rock, blues rock, Zydeco. Of course, there's Zydeco. Gotta have some Zydeco. Psych rock, brand new Psych rock. So cool stuff. So yeah, it's coming up. The opening where I put on the early morning Sunday show, that's pool water. That's what a swimming pool water should look like when it's properly balanced. Just so you know, that's properly balanced water. And it's hard to clean and hurts your eyes, but we're about ready to shut down most of the pools. Most asked for an extra 2 weeks, so we'll be knocking them down, which is good because the leaves are coming down right now, and some of these are just a mess. I've been having to clean a couple every day. Luckily, I should be done with my little route really soon, but yeah, about done with that kind of season, and the bids are starting, so we're starting to bid for what we want for pools for next year. We'll see. We had kind of the optimum amount of pools. We really don't want any more, but we have a few that we just don't want back. So if they want to bid, we either won't bid or we'll give them a really high bid that if they do take us, well, we'll make a lot of money off them. We'll see. Red Drum. We're staying at the Stanley Hotel, the Shining Hotel. I'll stay there tonight, Sunday night. I thought we'd go up there, and we can hit Rocky Mountain National Park early. If you get there early, you don't have to have a reservation to get into the national park and drive to the top of the mountains. Really looking forward for this. I wanted to do it. My wife's going to freak out. She gets really nervous about these mountain roads, but she has some anti-anxiety medicine. We're just going to pump her up with that stuff and get her a little more la-la-like, and head on up. She wants to do it, she says, but sometimes we're on these roads and she starts getting nervous and we have to turn back. I says, honey, there'll be no turning back. There's no turning back till we get to the top. I've taken the road throughout my life a number of times. I love it. I just absolutely, when you're on top of one of these huge mountains, it's the best. But it can be exciting getting there. So looking forward to it. So Red Drum. Tonight we're going to go look for ghosts and stuff. They even have a seance going on at the hotel. Not that I really want to do it. I don't want to get creeped out. All right. I looked at a new record store this week in Greeley, Colorado, which was a fantastic city. I got some footage right here. It is where the Colorado State Model Railroad's at. The official Colorado Model Railroad is there. And so here's a little footage from it.
Electric Limited. It has a custom sound file on it. Yeah, one time.
Now, I was excited. I forgot that was even there. I was just walking around these railroad tracks doing some photography, and suddenly it's like I look across the street. Oh my God, there it is. That's right. That's that big model railroad. That thing was huge, just huge. Fun, enjoyed it, had a good time. For me, when we buy our new house, I really would like to get a model railroad going again. I had one when I was young, loved it, never lost my love for railroads and model railroading. It's super expensive. I don't know if I can afford both hobbies. So we'll have to see, but we'll see. That's what retired guys do. We put on a train and we pretend we're train engineers. It's called proper retirement. Got a big thank you for Michael P. Dawson. Michael P. Dawson, every Friday he has a video, and his videos are filled with such great information, whether it be jazz, classical, rock. He does his research. He's so interesting. The guy, I always said, should be a college professor. Maybe he was, but he is a musician, still plays, but he just is fantastic on the way he presents his stuff. And so on the last video, he says, hey, I have some books. I need to get rid of a bunch of books. I'm purging books. If anybody's interested. Books? Me? Books? Of course. I purged hundreds and hundreds of them when I moved here. They all went to the library. But yeah. So he goes, yeah, I got a book for you. He goes, Love Goes to Buildings on Fire. 5 years in New York that changed music forever. It really looks at what was happening building up to the punk scene and the punk scene. I am so excited about this book. This is going to be a great read. Coming into winter, going to be reading a lot. Every day I read. Right after, as soon as we're done with this, I'll spend a little time reading. But he also sent me Perfecting Sound Forever. And this is an oral history of recorded music. There was Invisible Republic, Bob Dylan's basement tapes. He sent me a Bob Dylan. Michael, did you just do that just to try to get me to get a little more learned on Bob Dylan? And so that will be fun to read. Dance of Death by John Fahey, someone I don't know much of anything about except the name. I can't say I've listened to his music. These are the kind of things that get you to buy their albums and listen to them. And the final one, Man Who Sold the World. Looks like David Bowie in the 1970s. So just some incredible reads. Looking forward to. I got a stack of books ready for this winter already that I've been buying because I'm going to have a lot more time to read. So I'm stacked up and ready. No, I'm really stacked up. So excellent. All right, 6 minutes in and blah, blah. Let's get going here. First off, let's just talk a little bit about stupidity. They just released the new Funkadelic. Redone, and so I bought that. Yeah, this is a purple Westbound Records. Really excited. So I decided, hey, I need to get this. So I did, and then I go into my so I go in and I start to sort through to file this, and I find out, oh crap, I had an orange repress of Funkadelic that I had bought, and it was in Discogs. And then right next to it, I have a original Funkadelic that I had bought. So yeah, I mean, call you stupid once, but stupid twice. Oh my goodness sakes! And they were in Discogs. Just when I saw it, I didn't look, and I thought, do I have that? Which makes you think, did you need that? If you can't remember that you have that, and that means you're not playing it a lot, did you have to have it? The original crackles a lot, so I do need a repress of it, but not two. So, hey, oh well. Oh well. There it goes. I'll be purging this winter. Well, one of them's getting purged or sent out. But let's begin with, this is newer music, came out in 2023. This is from Sundial, and it is called Messages from the Mothership. Fun name. There's the label. Sundial formed, they're from the UK, formed in 1990. And basically, it's the group of Gary Ramone. And Gary's like the Beavis Frond. He's one, he does all these albums, and then he brings in different people to play in them. Basically, it's his group. In the 80s, he had a group called Modern Art, but then in 1990, he switched it up to Sundial. But it very much similar type music as Bavis front. I just learned that from Mike, Spins Vinyl. He said it's called Bavis front. He heard Nick Solomon do an interviews. So I've been saying it wrong for many, many years, and I'll probably continue. But Message Mothership came out 2023, and this is a 10th album from Sundial. And it's a three-piece band. His wife Chloe's in there. She plays on bass, and then a longtime collaborator Scorpio is on the album. And this is great stuff. I have some early Sundial, and then I kind of fell off. I have the first two albums. I love this album. Man, you talk about great psych, space rock. It is in here. Yeah, there's songs like Echoes. That is just, what's it called? Echoes All Around. It's just, I mean, it feels joyous. I mean, is there such a thing? Can you have a real happy psych? I think you can. It's trance-like, but wonderful stuff. Look Up at the Skies was another one. Has the feel of Pink Floyd's Set the Controls, kind of a spiritual type vibe to it. What was it? Edge of Light, I believe. Yeah, Edge of Light was one I really, really liked. Hawkwind type vibe happening with that, especially when you're thinking of space rock. And of course the title track here, Messages from the Mothership. It's very spiritual, but just top notch. It's a very uplifting type song. This album just really surprised me. It doesn't cost a lot. I had found it to be incredibly good. Sundial, Messages from the Mothership. For those of you that like the psych and the space rock, this thing really will fit the bill. Very happy to have that. Found this in a record store. This is Sister from Sonic Youth. But what makes this super exciting is this is the band cover. It was banned because, well, we got Mickey Mouse. They put a picture of Mickey Mouse on here, and they weren't supposed to. They didn't have permission. And this is from an artist that they put on there. And they didn't have permission. Now, they had cut these like out of magazines and that, and used that as the artwork. Thought this should be okay. It wasn't, and their label just didn't have the money to kind of fight it, SST. So this cover got pulled, and they had to redo it. They had to blank out those two spots. It does have original inner sleeve. Really, really neat. This, I was excited. I just read the Sonic Youth album about the history of the band, so I knew of this, and I put this on my list because I did not have that. And what makes this really interesting is this is really a more coherent oriented album. On this album, they finally began to explore song structure and how to make a song, and you hear it in here. It sounds it's really good. I'm trying not to say fantastic for the 5,000th time. Steve Shelley's on drums. He'd come in to play in the group on Evil, and he adds a lot to this. Songs like Schizophrenia, definitely, it begins with that. And you can just immediately hear, God, this sounds like a real song going on. There's really song structure happening on here. You still have the swallow guitars and that, so you have that going on. Okay, what was it? Oh man, Cable Black. Oh, I can't remember. See, they don't have the titles on here, so I don't have that to look at, but hey, it doesn't matter. There are songs where you just hear that wall, that noise just coming at you. But there's just other things like Beauty Lies in the Eyes. Kim Gordon sings this, and her vocals are actually out front of this wall of sound. Her and Mark Ronaldo, they both do that kind of a talk sing kind of thing, where basically more talking than singing. When they started to record this, the engineer, he stopped him. He just stopped him. Wait, we can't go on. You guys need to tune your guitars. Well, the owner of the studio, Walter Sear, he comes running into the booth and says, no, they're supposed to sound that way. You see, Sonic Youth, they would come in with piles of guitars. They had all these secondhand guitars. Many of them were duct taped together and stuff, but they all had a specific sound that they wanted. Every song, a different guitar, a different banged up thing that they wanted to have. They called this, the name of the album Sister, but Thurston Moore, he wanted to call it Soul Fuck, SUL-FUC. That was one thing. And then he said Kitty Magic was another name he liked, and Humpy Pumpy. But, well, thank God they went with Sister. That's the one they went with. But I said they really went after song structure on this. Even, a song like Cotton Crown? Cotton Crown was the name of it. On there, Thurston Moore and Kim Gordon do they sing together. They do vocal harmonies, which was rare. They could never do that live because their voices weren't the same, but in the studio they were able to do that. But it's one of the few songs that is like that. Lyrically, the music of the songs that Moore did, that he wrote, are very oblique, just out there. Ronaldo, his lyrics were more personal, and Kim Gordon's were more like fictional scenarios, but based upon her real life. So interesting stuff. Great album. So happy to have this thing, Sister, the band cover. Very, very neat. His sister came over. She was out of her mind. She said Jesus had a twin. He knew nothing about sin. She was laughing like crazy at the trouble I'm in. Her eyes were dancing.
So God said, brings you back to me. It's been so long. All I have to do is live alone. It's coming.
Comes on into this, and this is an album that I used to have, finally brought back because I couldn't find this or at a decent price. It's a repress of Pappo's Blues, and Pappo's Blues is from Argentina. This is some of the greatest blues rock ever. Blues rock with a Psych feel. It is incredible. Norberto Animal Neapolitanos, something like that. Born in 50, died in 05. Considered to be the greatest Argentina rock guitarist ever. And it shows on this. Pappo's Blues is just fantastic blues rock. He put out like 9 albums in the 70s. Then in the 80s, he formed a heavy metal band called Riff. But this is the first album that came out in 71. This is the one to get. I have some of the other albums. Nothing to me stands up to this. This is a masterpiece. And a few years back in the VC, this was everyone talked about this album, and for good reason. It is incredible, and there is just it's blues and it's Psych all happening on here. It's a concept album, actually, and it's about youth rebelling against a restrictive society. And that's what it is. We're becoming a little more restrictive. Who knows? Maybe Pappo's Blues will become true around here. You just don't know. But it's a 3-piece band. and they are tight, really, really tight. It rocks very hard. Again, I think it's their best album, and yeah, this thing comes at you and hits you. One song I really liked, Hanson, on here. The guitar solo on Hanson is out of this world. It is so good. Great to have this back. I don't know why I opened it, because I had one already. A lot of times I'll buy these. I want the cover, okay? You get tired of just the piece of paper. But hey, oh well. Let's move into, from the 90s, Lush. And Lush only put out 3 LPs. This is their, I think, their second LP. They formed it in 87, broke up in 96. And this is, well, when they first started, they're called Baby Magician. No, not Baby Magician, sorry, Baby Machine. And but then they switched over to be called Lush. And this is Split. On here, they began to kind of abandon some of the shoegaze. This came out in 94. Shoegaze was dying, okay? It just came up and it went. Because other things are going on, and Britpop basically really took over. But this is a more confident and a more muscular album than their very first album, Spooky. It's, I mean, this thing, shall we say, it rocks. The vocals are out front. Oftentimes in shoegaze and dream pop, the vocals are buried in there behind the guitars. Not on this. They're out to the front, so you can really hear them. They really moved past the whole dream pop thing. And they just came out of this. There was, can I remember some of these on here? There was one I wanted to talk about. And, well, now I'm not finding it. Yeah, hey, that happens. Okay, but yeah, this is just, to me, it's a band that's now confident at what they're doing, and just moving forward with their music, and they really come out with this. There is just this kind of almost emotional turbulence happening within the album. Wonderful stuff. Really happy to kind of get this one. To me, it's the Lush album to have. Some will argue Spooky, but I think Spooky, they're learning what they're doing. Here they come out and they really have it. And a really good rockin' album.
Much too young to understand.
Then we have the Batfish Boys. I know, we're going, whoa, you finally got a Batfish Boys. And it's true, I do. Out of the UK. Oh, yeah, Argentina. We're from the UK we have this week. Sonic Youth's from the US. Okay, Batfish Boys. I found this in, very inexpensive in a bin. No idea. I just saw that and go, well, that's going to be goth, I bet. Well, it's not. The name of the album is Head. And Batfish Boys, or Batfish, they did start as a goth band, but they kind of changed quickly. They formed in 84, broke up in 90, did 3 albums. And on here, this is their second album. It's definitely a heavier album than their first. And it's really laced with Psych blues. You have that feel. It came out in 1986. It has 2 guitars, bass, and drum. Lyrically, maybe not the best. There's a song called Love Pig, and the lyrics on Love Pig is, come on, baby, love me like a love pig. What's that mean? What's a love pig? Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know, but somehow, baby, you need to love me like a love pig. Do you bring in a pig to show how to do it? That's weird. It's the way it is. There was the gods hate Kansas. For whatever reason, they went on Kansas. They keep singing "Burn It Up, Melt It Down." Somehow they got mad at Kansas City. So okay, yeah, that's not. We don't like Kansas. The vocals, they're kind of a guttural, sneering type delivery to them, but there is solid, heavy riff playing going on behind them. The playing is really, really quite good. Justine was a song, just wonderful hard rock. This wasn't bad. It was really inexpensive. So the Batfish Boys, am I going to go out and buy their catalog? I am not. But did I find this enjoyable? I did. And it was very, very inexpensive. Finally, let's finish up with Clifton Chenier, and we have Bon Ton Bon Ton Relais. It came out in 1966. This is from 66 on our Hooli. This is a great album. This is more wonderful Zydeco, but this is more blues oriented. In fact, he does a lot of blues covers on here, and definitely heavier. There is like instrumental frog legs, just incredible instrument. It's just so much fun. It's pure party. The title track, Bon Ton Relais, is very much traditional Zydeco, which is what I appreciate. But he does get into like a lot of the blues, like Baby Please Don't Go, he does on here. Black Snake Blues. If it's what was it? Oh, If I Ever Get Lucky, few other blues things. So he really goes in here. His uncle plays fiddle on this, something that's never happened before on any of his albums. No one plays fiddle. And after this, really, no one ever played fiddle again. But on 2 songs, they have a fiddle going on. So not traditional in Zydeco, but it's his uncle. What are you going to do? His uncle, can I play? Plays, come on, plays. And he says, yes, you may. 2 songs. So, yeah, more great Zydeco. I might have more Clifton Chenier yet. God, that thing's gotten big. Such good stuff. That's what we got this week. Thank you, as always, for hanging out. I don't know. I may not be back next week. I could be killed in that hotel at the Stanley. You never know. Jack Nicholson may, his ghost, though he's not dead, somebody could bust into my room, kill me. Who knows? Looking forward to this, though. Just something different to do. So cheers to everyone. Have yourself a great week. If I survive, I will see you next week. Bye.